Coming up tonight on YCN News, Kearsarge Regional School District Superintendent Dr. Jerry Frew organizes a public meeting with the New Hampshire Director of Public Health to discuss Ebola. River Valley Community College in Claremont is again fully accredited for nursing students. And a 23-year-old Hillsborough man dies in a car crash today in Grantham, New Hampshire. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. With news of the disease Ebola making headlines, it's hard to separate fact from fiction. Fear of this illness, which remains largely incurable, is on the minds of many people. The Upper Valley is home to several leading medical centers where the parents of local school children are employed. That's why one regional school superintendent organized a public meeting yesterday night with the New Hampshire Director of Public Health, Dr. Jose Montero. Kearsarge Regional School District Superintendent Dr. Jerry Frew tells YCN's John O'Connor about the reason for the meeting.
So Dr. Frew, how did this meeting come about today?
Really, John, it came about because we have a number of folks from not only our district but throughout the Upper Valley who are serving in different capacities to try to help this cause. And we felt that as an educational institution, and it's kind of our business to help pull people together to gain a greater understanding about Ebola and the virus and what the state's efforts are, and to help reassure people and try to alleviate some of the fear and misunderstanding that may exist in the communities at large.
So based on the conversations that you heard, the questions asked, his comments, his introductory remarks, the comments from his experts, do you believe that really poses any risk for Kearsarge students, faculty, and staff?
I don't believe that there's any greater risk than there is for the flu or other things. H1N1, when that came about, I really feel that student safety is our primary concern, regardless of what the issue is. Whether it's riding to school in the morning or getting home in the afternoon, it's about student safety and health. And so this was an opportunity, I believe, to bring that forward. And so in that, it's on par with everything else that we try to keep students and their families informed and safe.
And would the school change any policies or procedures based on what you've heard?
We'll follow the policies and procedures that are set forth by Health and Human Services and Center for Disease Control, and we'll work with them if we need to work at a greater level.
Well, thanks so much. Thanks so much for having the event here.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Tune in tomorrow night to hear YCN's interview with Dr. Jose Montero. Parents and residents of the Newport School District will decide the fate of one of its elementary schools. What should become of the Toll School? What's the best way to organize all school programs from pre-kindergarten through grade 12 and wisely spend tax dollars? Information gathered through a survey will guide this discussion, which residents will lead as well. One possibility is to move pre-K through grade 6 students out of Richards Elementary and combine all students in these grades in one building. Setting up 3 multi-age classrooms also could help with cost savings while ensuring strong education. For more information on the proposal and a link to the district survey, go online to sau43.org. Paper copies of the survey also will be available at the Richards Free Library, the Senior Center, or the Newport Town Office. The date to return surveys is November 20th. Newport Town Manager Paul Brown wears many hats, and he's about to change his look again. As of June 30th, 2015, Brown will return to the job he held in Newport before being named town manager, the Eagle Times reports. He will be the town's finance director. Yesterday night, Selectman Board Chairman Gary Nichols read a letter aloud from Brown. In that letter, Brown asked that his contract as town manager not be renewed. For the last 3 years, Brown's held both jobs. Brown has worked for the town of Newport for at least 22 years. Administrators and nursing students at River Valley Community College in Claremont can breathe a sigh of relief. The school's registered nursing program is again fully accredited, college leaders announced today. Members of the New Hampshire Board of Nursing granted approval for the next 5 years standard practice when all qualifications are met. Still underway is RVCC's goal to regain full national accreditation for its associate degree nursing program. College Nursing Program Director Dr. Patricia Shin oversaw the reaccreditation process. The State Board of Nursing congratulated the college for developing a program aimed at preparing safe, effective healthcare practitioners. River Valley's nursing tracks date to 1968 for its practical nurse training program and 1981 for its registered nursing pathway. When news returns, we'll hear from River Valley Chronicle's Elizabeth DeRazio, who met with Paul Bosher, president of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. We have an update to a story reported yesterday. Vermont State Police say no charges will be issued against Daniel Sherry of Westminster, Vermont. The 64-year-old man had been charged by police with theft for taking a jacket from a truck Sunday night. In further studying the case, police decided the law had not been broken. A crash today in Grantham, New Hampshire claimed the life of a 23-year-old Hillsborough man, police report. Shortly before 4:30 a.m., a crash between a car and a tractor-trailer on I-89 North was reported to 911. Police report the green Subaru Forester, driven by Maxwell Miller of Hillsborough, skidded on the icy road. Miller's car spun around, hitting the guardrails on the passing and travel lanes. The car veered back into the passing lane when it was struck by a tractor-trailer driven by 55-year-old Grant Hodgson of Cornish. The tractor-trailer is owned by United Parcel Services. Miller was pronounced dead at the scene, police report. Hodgson was not injured, say police. Trooper Micah Jones of Troop D in Concord worked with state police from Troop G and the Grantham Fire and Rescue Squad. In other New Hampshire news, plans are underway to ensure customers of Fred Fuller Oil receive the assistance they need now that the company has filed for bankruptcy. Rhymes Propane and Oil will absorb Fuller's business. A sale of the Fuller Company is underway and is expected to close within days, reports the New Hampshire Attorney General's office. Working with Rhymes is Sprague Operating Resources. Sprague was one of Fuller's largest creditors. The bankruptcy agreement will result in Fuller's assets going to Rhymes and Sprague supplying the heating fuel products. New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan says the goal of the deal is to protect Fuller customers who pre-bought home heating contracts for this winter. Rhymes will take over those pre-buy contracts for Fuller. Sprague will give cash to Rhymes to help absorb its new customer base and ensure continued oil or propane deliveries. Fuller came under fire last winter when it could not honor its pre-buy contracts nor supply customers with heating oil. State officials stepped in to help frantic customers. Meanwhile, in Vermont, there is one sector of the state government that's having success. In fiscal year 2014, Vermont companies earned more contracts with the government than the 2 preceding years. Leaders with the Vermont Procurement Technical Assistance Center matches Vermont businesses with government needs. These 519 contracts are worth about $103 million this fiscal year. Vermont PTAC Director Robin Miller says in a statement, the companies make everything from flutes to clothing to spare parts for military aircraft and ships. This increase in business amounts to a 300% rise over 2012 contracts and a 25% hike from 2013. When YCN News returns, we'll hear from River Valley Chronicle's Elizabeth DeRazio, who met with Paul Bosher, president of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next few days and then move on to sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tonight we'll have mostly clear skies with lows down to 18 degrees. Winds will range between 10 and 15 miles per hour with some gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow we'll have a high of 29 degrees with mostly sunny skies and winds up to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night will be mostly cloudy with lows around 19 degrees. Thursday will be partly sunny with highs in the 30s and winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Thursday night we'll have mostly cloudy skies with lows in the 20s. You can see here that there are some scattered snowstorms near our area. There is a 20% chance that this will affect us. Now let's see what's coming up on our community calendar. Tomorrow in Vermont, the Norwich Select Board will meet at 5 p.m. In New Hampshire, the Danbury Select Board will meet at 6 p.m. and the Charlestown Select Board will meet at 6:30. In Hanover at 7 p.m., the Hanover High School will have a chorus concert. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. Let's take a look now at the Manchester Monarchs' last 3 games. Starting with Friday night's game in Worcester, Massachusetts, Manchester won against the Sharks in a 5-2 victory. 3 of the game's goals were scored in the first period. Manchester's Jordan Wheel was the team-high player of the night with 2 goals and 1 assist. Saturday night's game pitted the Monarchs with the Providence Bruins. Once again, Manchester achieved a 5-2 win. Derek Forbert scored 2 of the Monarchs' goals in the game. Vincent Laverde was also a team-high +4 on the night. Turning to Sunday's game against Hartford, once again the Manchester Monarchs won. It was the closest game of the weekend as Manchester scored during overtime, making the final score 4-3. Brian O'Neill scored the game-winning goal with just a minute remaining. Manchester's record after the weekend was 10 wins and 4 losses. So far, a great season.
Thanks, Matt. When YCN News continues, we'll join Capital Connections' John O'Connor.
The YCN News continues in a moment.